In today's whiskey review, Russell Reserve 10-year. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Tears. My name is Justin, and in today's video, we are doing Russell's Reserve 10-year. If you haven't joined the channel before, here on Whiskey Tears, we do everything three ways. We do it neat, we do it with a dash of water, and we do it on the rocks, and we then rate it on a tier system. So today, we are doing Russell's Reserve 10-year. If you didn't see the last two videos, we did Tin Cup 10-year, and we did Widow Jane 10-year. So I figured we'd keep that 10-year rolling, and we get into the Russell's Reserve 10-year, and then coming up soon, I'm going to do a blind taste of all three of those 10-year versions, and we're going to see if it comes out in the same ranking order that I gave it, not doing it blind. So, Russell's Reserve 10-year bourbon today, let's go. More than 90 years. That's the combined tenure of master distillers Jimmy and his son Eddie Russell. They hand-selected barrels after at least 10 years of aging, resulting in a bourbon that delivers a balance of rich, spicy vanilla flavors. Their experience guarantees yours, meaning your experience. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey coming in at 90 proof, 10 years old, Russell's Reserve. And it is by Wild Turkey. Coincidentally enough, we are doing Wild Turkey Rare Breed Barrel Proof on next week's episode. So we will be able to compare these back to back because I am filming them back to back. So that's going to be kind of interesting too. We're going to do the 10 years compared to each other, and then we can do the two different Wild Turkey variations, the Russell's Reserve 10 year and the Wild Turkey Rare Breed Barrel Proof back to back. So let's go, let's taste. First things first is the cork pop. Weak cork pop here, Russell's Reserve. Let's see if the pour's any better. Okay, pour came out of the bottle pretty good. All right, get the visual on there. Kind of a golden yellow, a little bit less of the red mahogany colors that you get a lot in bourbons, but it is a 10 years Russell's Reserve from Wild Turkey in the Whiskey Tears Glencairn glass. So let's smell it, let's taste it, let's see what it is. It smells good. First thing I got was a light oak and cherry. Light oak cherry, a little bit of vanilla in there. Legs are very nice forming now that I've given it a little swirl. Legs are very nice. Light oak, a sweet cherry, some vanilla. Not really getting any spice, not really getting any smoke. It smells a little bit older. So if I remember correctly, when I did the 10 cup, it didn't really remind me anything that was too old. The Widow Jane reminded me of something that was real old. So far on the nose, I'd say this is kind of in between. All right, so let's taste it. Let's see how it is down the hatch. Okay, vanilla, a little bit of light oakiness in there. A little bit of cherry in there, kind of all the same smells that you get on the nose. Yeah, definitely get that oakiness. Maybe just a little bitterness in there as well. Kind of a little bit of a light bitter wood with the cherry, with the vanilla. Not really getting too much spice. It goes down the palate very easily here at 90 proof, which is to be expected. But 10 years old so far from memory. It's been a couple weeks since I filmed the other two, but so far I think I like it less than Widow Jane, but maybe more than the Tin Cup. A little bit of maple syrup in there too. Let me see if I get that again. Yeah, a little bit of maple syrup on the front of the tongue, and it gets into that light oak and kind of a vanilla-y with a slight hint of cherry on the end. So it's pretty good overall. I am surprised. I am happy with it. It's much better than I thought it would be. The bottle itself, you know, looking at the bottle itself, it's not overly impressive. It just kind of looks more like your standard run-of-the-mill, maybe kind of like craft bourbon, you would say, almost like a craft beer. There's nothing special to the labeling. There's nothing special to the bottle. So for me, if I just saw this on a shelf by itself and didn't really know what it was, you know, I wouldn't necessarily pick it up. I got this for $40. So this is what it cost me here in Maryland. I know it's cheaper elsewhere, more expensive elsewhere, but that's what I paid for it here. So far on the palate, pretty good. Let's see what it's like with a dash of water. All right, dash of water inserted, and we're swirling around. It's already at 90 proof, so I'm expecting it just to be a much watered down version of what I already got here, but you never know, so we'll try it out. Exact same nose, so let's just get into the taste. Okay, with the water added, I get more vanilla and just a hint of a black pepper spice on there. Just a little hint. Yeah, so it's basically more vanilla, a little hint of spice in there with the dash of water. Let's try it on the rocks, see if that's any different. All right, on the rocks, we've got a pretty nice ice ball this week. Eventually, I'll do a video about how to make pretty nice ice balls for pretty cheap, just straight off Amazon. But for today, okay, more woodiness I'm getting out of this one on the rocks. A little bit of cherry in there. Wood and cherry. So wood and cherry is what I'm getting out of the Russell's Reserve 10 years on the rocks. Let's try it down the hatch. Okay, it gets much more woody bitterness coming out of it on the rocks. You get a little blast of cherry up front and then much more woody bitterness. Yeah, you get a lot more bitterness on the rocks. That's almost not even good on the rocks. So for Russell's Reserve 10 year, I would not recommend this one on the rocks based on those tastings alone. I would recommend it definitely neat, number one, if you have to, with a dash of water, but it's 90 proof, so really you shouldn't have to. Oh yeah, the nose is so much better immediately, back to neat, and the palate so much better. Yeah, get rid of on the rocks with the Russell's Reserve 10 year. Drink it neat. If you absolutely have to, drink it with some water. So Russell's Reserve 10 year. On the tier list, where are we going to put you? Well, I kind of stand put where I was thinking on it initially with my nose, and my initial taste was, I kind of like it. You know what? No, I'm going to save that for the blinds. I was about to test it against the Tin Cup 10 year, but I'm going to save that for the blind test. So for now, this one is going to go above Tin Cup, but below Widow Jane. So it's going to go in the B tier here for Russell's Reserve. B tier, Wild Turkey. Next week we're doing Rare Breed. B tier. If you guys have had this before, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know what you think of it and all the other ones that I've done so far. So it's going in the beer tier. It's pretty good. Neat. It's pretty good. 90 proof. It drinks maybe a little bit hotter than a normal 90 proof, but still overall pretty good. So, you know, for the price that I got this, which was cheaper than both of the other ones, definitely worth the price at the $40 to $50 range, which is where I got it. You can find it cheaper elsewhere. So if you can find it in that range, I think it's definitely worth having on your shelf. Nice solid B tier for the price, great value. So that's where we're at today. Join us next week when we're going to do Wild Turkey Rare Breed, which I'm going to film right after I close this one. And then coming up shortly, we're going to do the 10-year blinds between the Tin Cup 10 year, the Russell's Reserve 10 year, and the Widow Jane 10 year. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the channel. I appreciate you watching so much. I'll see you later.